Alrighty, folks, we're now hitting at 63% in our last 16 underdog tier package plays on my premium page. And the good news is I've got another underdog play going off here on Saturday. That play's already posted and ready for access in the post section. Of course, if you want to access all of my premium selections, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my free pick video here today for Saturday, May 17th, 2025. Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you had a nice start to the new weekend. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. Of course, if you don't need access to all of my premium selections, but maybe you could use like one a day, my daily best play is going to run you just 6 cents a day for 30 days worth of access. I also have plenty of free content on my premium page as well. I currently have over 2,430 members who are signed up and active on my premium page right now. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. Subway Series, Mets-Yankees, 1:05 Eastern first pitch. The Yankees are $1.35, totals 9.5. Clark Schmidt for the Yankees, Griffin Canning for the Mets. And Canning's certainly going to have his work cut out for him. Listen, we're not going to take nothing away from him. He's been very solid this year, but Canning's facing arguably the most dangerous lineup of hitters in the game. Aaron Judge is over 40 RBI on the season, OPS in the 1200s. And Trent Grisham with double-digit homers himself, OPS in the high 900s. Now, the Yankees saw a handful of overs in their last 10 ball games. I like the Yankees minus 135. Over 9.5. All right, next matchup. I forget what this series is called. Obviously, it's two Chicago teams. It's not the Subway Series. That's New York. Is this also the Subway Series? I don't know. I should know that. It just, I do know it. It has slipped my mind. But Battle for Chicago, I don't know. Midway Series? Who knows? White Sox, Cubs, 2:20 Eastern first pitch. Of course, this game's at Wrigley Field. Chicago, the Cubs are minus 270. Totals 10.5. Matthew Boyd for the Cubs. Sean Burke for the White Sox. And Burke's just 2-4 on the year. White Sox giving their pitchers little to no run support. The Sox are currently dead last in hits per game at the plate. And they're going to face Matthew Boyd, who has an ERA in the 2s along with 45 strikeouts. When it comes to the total, 5 out of the White Sox last 7 on the road did stay under the total. Their games went 7-3 to the under in their last 10 at any location. I like the Cubs minus 1.5, under 10.5 runs. Next game, Tigers, Blue Jays, 3:07 East. This game's currently off the board. Eric Lauer for Toronto, Reese Olson for Detroit. Now, Olson's got a winning record on the year. He's averaging over a strikeout an inning. The righty actually comes into Saturday's start with an ERA of 3.38. But even if Olson blows chunks, he's backed by a top 3 run-producing lineup on the road. Spencer Torkelson's got double-digit homers, over 30 RBI on this season. And Riley Green's also got double-digit homers himself, on-base percentage in the 300s. And they're facing a Jays roster who's definitely struggled at the dish. Toronto's a bottom 10 run-producing team. Give me the Tigers getting the job done for some moneyline cash. All right, Beltway Series, Nats, O's, 4:05 East. Baltimore's $1.60, totals 10. Kyle Gibson for the O's, Jake Irvin for Washington. Now, Irvin suffered just 1 loss in the year through 54 innings. This Nationals lineup has done a great job making contact with the baseball. Matter of fact, the Nats are currently in the top 3 in fewest strikeouts on the road. C.J. Abrams bats in the 300s, OPS in the 900s as well. And James Wood, He's got double-digit homers, on-base percentage in the mid-300s as well. And they're going to face an 0-2 Kyle Gibson, who's looked pretty horrendous in a couple of starts. The righty currently has an ERA in the 13s. And these Baltimore pitchers are allowing nearly a dozen hits a game at Camden Yards. Now, total-wise, the O's have seen over 67% of their home games this year get over the number. I like the Nationals plus 1.5 over 10. Rays, Marlins, 4:10 Eastern first pitch. Tampa Bay is $1.55, totals 8. Drew Rasmussen for Tampa Bay. Sandy Alcantara for Miami. Now, Sandy's just 2-5 on this season. Miami struggling a bit at the plate. Marlins are in the bottom 5 in strikeouts per game at home. They're going to face Drew Rasmussen, who's got an ERA in the 3s, 1.05 whip. And I'll tell you what, when the Rays travel, they've been tough to hit against. They're allowing fewer hits per 9 on the road than any other staff. I like the Rays minus $1.55, under 8. Pirates, Phillies, formerly known as the poop game, because when they put the scoreboard up at the beginning of the game, it'd be P, and the score would be 0-0. P, it'd be poop. It would spell out poop. But Philly changed that. Comcast Philly, they have PIT now and PHI. So the poop game, what are the last 3 years? It was funny. It was sophomoric. It was immature. Rest in peace to the poop game. Pirates, Phillies, 6:05 East. Philadelphia's minus 275. Totals 8 runs. Zach Wheeler for the Fightins. Carmen Mlazant. I butcher this name every time. Mladzinski for the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're just calling him Zinski. Zinski's just 1-3 with a 5.20 ERA. And this Pirate pitching staff is in the bottom 10 in strikeouts per 9. Now they're facing a Philly team who typically destroys the baseball at the bank. They're averaging nearly double-digit hits a game at home, top 5 in runs per game on their own field. Kyle Schwarber, the club leader in homers and ribbies, OPS in the 900s. Bryce Harper's got over 20 RBI on the season, on-base percentage in the mid-300s. I like the Phillies minus 1.5, over 8. Next game, Guardians, Reds, 6:40 p.m. East. Cleveland's minus $1.25, totals 10. Luis Ortiz for the Guardians, Chase Petty for Cincinnati. And through just a handful of innings, Petty's 0-2 already with an ERA of 21.94. Of course, at the moment, the Reds currently have a losing record in their interleague contests. And they're facing a Cleveland squad who actually does a nice job making contact on the road. They're in the top 3 in fewest strikeouts in their travels. Kyle Manzardo's got double-digit home runs. Steven Kwan's batting in the 300s. Now, the Guardians have seen over 64% of their road games get over the total. I like the Guardians minus $1.25, over 10. Next matchup, Astros, Rangers, 7:05 East. Texas is minus $1.35, totals 8.5. Tyler Mahle for the Rangers, Ronel Blanco for Houston. Now, Blanco's just 3-3 with an ERA in the 4s. And as a team, the Astros have a losing record in their travels. They're facing a Ranger team who plays their best baseball at home. Tough to hit against at Globe Life Field. Texas is currently in the top 3 in fewest runs allowed in their own building. And we should see more of the same with Tyler Mahle on the hill. 4-1 record, ERA of 1.47. The righty's also punched out 37 hitters and has a sub-1 whip. Give me the Rangers minus $1.35. Cardinals, Royals, 7:10 East. KC's $1.30, totals 8.5. Noah Cameron for the Royals. Miles Michaelis for St. Louis. Michaelis is just 2-2 on the year. St. Louis playing their worst baseball away from Busch Stadium. They're facing a KC squad who's got a winning record in their interleague contests. They actually won over 15 games already at Kauffman Stadium. Of course, pitching-wise, the Royals have certainly been dominant on the hill. Top 3 in fewest runs allowed per game. Starting pitcher Noah Cameron's yet to allow an earned run through a handful of innings. He has a sub-1 whip. When it comes to the total, the Royals have seen a whole bunch of unders in front of their own crowd. I like KC minus 130, under 8.5. Next game, Braves, Red Sox, 7:15 East. Boston's $1.20, totals 9. Lucas Giolito for the Red Sox, Grant Holmes for Atlanta. And both pitchers with their fair share of struggles. Atlanta's Grant Holmes is just 2-3 with an ERA in the 4s. Meanwhile, Boston's Lucas Giolito's got just 1 win on the year, ERA of 5.51. Of course, at the plate, both clubs with some big boppers. Alex Bregman's got double-digit homers, OPS in the high 900s. And Willie Abreu's also got double-digit homers, OPS in the 900s himself. They're facing an Atlanta squad who's definitely got their fair share of guys who can get on base. Marcell Ozuna's got an on-base percentage in the 400s. Austin Riley, the club leader in runs batted in. I like the over 9. All right, next matchup. Twins, Brewers, 7:15 East. Minnesota's $1.30, total 7.5. Pablo Lopez for the Twins. Tobias Myers for Milwaukee. Now, Myers has an ERA in the 3s, yet to record a loss on the season. Meanwhile, Pablo Lopez has 44 strikeouts on the year, whip of just .97. Of course, at the plate, both teams with their fair share of struggles. Minnesota's a bottom 10 run-producing team on the road. Milwaukee's a bottom 10 run-producing team at home. Now, total-wise, bunch of unders between both of these teams. I like the under 7.5. Rockies, Diamondbacks, 8:10 Eastern start. Arizona's minus 325, totals 9. Zach Allen for the Diamondbacks. German Marquez for Colorado. Marquez is just 1-6 on the season. Colorado can't hit for shit. The Rockies are dead last in runs per game away from home. And they're going to face Zach Gallen, who's got 54 strikeouts on the year and a 1.31 whip. I like the Diamondbacks minus 1.5. Under 9. Mariners, Padres, 8:40 Eastern start. San Diego's $1.55, totals 8. Nick Pivetta for the Pods. Emerson Hancock for Seattle. Hancock's got just 1 win on this season, ERA close to 7. And these Seattle pitchers have definitely struggled away from home. They're in the bottom 3 in hits allowed in their travels. They're facing a top 10 hit-producing lineup in the Padres. They strike out fewer times a game than any other lineup. Manny Machado with an on-base percentage in the 400s. Fernando Tatis, the club leader in homers and RBI. He currently has an OPS in the 900s. Now, total-wise, both teams with a handful of overs in their last 10, respectively. The Mariners have actually seen over 63% of their road games fly over the total as well. I like the Padres minus 155, over 8. A's, Giants, 9:05 East. San Francisco's $1.30, totals 8. Landon Rupp for the Giants. Luis Severino for the A's. Sevy's just 1-4 with an ERA of 4.70. And these A's pitchers have been pretty ass for most of the season. They're allowing nearly double-digit hits per game. They're facing a top 10 run-scoring lineup in San Francisco. Elliot Ramos with over 20 RBI on the season, on-base percentage in the mid-300s. And Mike Yastrzemski with a handful of homers himself, on-base percentage in the high 300s. I like the Giants minus 130, over 8. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Angels-Dodgers, 9:10 p.m. East. The Dodgers are minus 230, totals 9. Clayton Kershaw making his season debut for the Dodgers. Tyler Anderson for the Angels. And as solid as Anderson's been, the Angels do tend to pitch their worst on the road. They're in the bottom 3 in runs allowed in their travels. Lots of walks, little strikeouts. And they're currently facing the best run-producing team at home in the league. Freddie Freeman with an OPS in the 1100s. Shohei Ohtani with an OPS in the thousands himself. Now, the Dodgers have seen over 63% of their home games get over the total. I like the Dodgers minus 1.5 over 9. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into our quick pick recap. I like the Yankees minus 135 over 9.5. Cubs minus 1.5 under 10.5 runs. We're hitting at 63%. Our last 16 underdog tier package plays on my premium page. Tigers money line. Nationals plus 1.5 over 10. Tampa Bay minus 155 under 8. Phillies minus 1.5 over 8 runs. Guardians minus $1.25 over 10. Rangers minus 135, getting the job done for some money line cash. Royals minus $1.30 under 8.5. I like the over 9 in that Braves Red Sox matchup. Give me the under 7.5 in that Twins Brewers game. Diamondbacks minus 1.5 under 9. Padres minus 155 over 8. Giants minus $1.30 over 8 runs. And give me the Dodgers minus 1.5 over 9. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.